English doesn't make sense. Luckily for you, I do. Welcome back to my channel. This is Teacher Chris. Let me call this language together. Are you someone who has been struggling with the usage of prepositions rightly? Well, today you don't have to worry again about that one because today the lesson is all about prepositions and you are going to learn them so that you can understand and use them correctly whenever you'll be speaking English. As I told you, the lesson is all about prepositions. We're going to study the usage of on, at, in, and by. First of all, before we proceed, I want you to know something. I'm not going to provide all the usage of them, but we're only going to see or to look at particular usages of them. So, in case you know another usage and I didn't mention it here, don't worry. This is just usages that are actually more general or usable by people. Now, starting with the first preposition, at. The first your preposition is at. At. And today we're only going to look at two usages of the preposition at. First is we can use at when we are talking about location. Location. Okay? But also we're going to use at when we are talking about time. I'm going to explain. Now, location first. For example, somebody asks you, okay, where are you at the moment? Where are you at the moment? And you want to give the location. Let's say you are à l'hôpital, okay? Tu es à l'hôpital. Tu vas dire en anglais, I am at the hospital. I'm at the hospital. Je suis à l'hôpital. There, you are giving the location. I can also change the location there. Si je vais parler maintenant de l'école, centre, ça sera maintenant I am at the center. I am at school. Et ça marche comme cela. So, at, we're going to use it talking about location by following this formula here. Je veux commencer par conjuguer le verbe to be, I am, you are, she is, dépendamment des pronoms que je veux utiliser. Dépendamment du pronom que tu es en train d'utiliser. Par exemple, disons que tu veux formuler une phrase en utilisant elle. Elle est à l'hôpital. Je dois maintenant changer le chose ici. Au lieu de am, ça devient elle est, qui veut dire she is at the hospital. Okay? She is at home. She is at the market. Elle est au marché. She is. Quand je parle de elle comme pronom en anglais. Mais aussi, comme je vous ai dit, on va aussi utiliser at when we are talking about time. Par exemple, tu veux dire à quelqu'un, on va se rencontrer à 15 heures. À 15 heures. Ça sera en anglais at. Et puis je dis 15 heures. 15 heures, on va mettre 3. 15 heures, 3 p.m. On va se rencontrer à 15 heures. Let's meet at 3 p.m. Let's meet. On va se rencontrer au même. On va avoir le rencontre à 15 heures. Ça sera let's meet at 3 p.m. Let comme ça. Meet, qui est le verbe rencontrer. Meet. Let's meet. On va se rencontrer à 15 heures. Let's meet at 3 p.m. Si c'est 16 heures, je vais changer le 3 ici et je vais dire 4, qui est maintenant les 4. 4. Si c'est 14 heures, on va dire 2 p.m. Let's meet at 3 p.m. Donc, on va se rencontrer à 15 heures. Let's meet at 4 p.m. On va se rencontrer à 16 heures. Quelque chose à retenir ici, ok? At, when talking about location, I want to tell somebody where I am at the moment, okay? And secondly, talking about the time, I want to specify the time. Quand est-ce qu'on peut se rencontrer, quand est-ce qu'on va faire quelque chose. Pour montrer maintenant le temps qui est spécifique, je vais utiliser at comme préposition. C'est bon là-bas? Maintenant, on y va avec la deuxième préposition qui est on. On. Maintenant, ici, on, in and by, on va aller directement avec ça, vu qu'ils ont le même usage. On va utiliser on quand nous parlons de transportation, de transport. On va aussi utiliser in we're talking about transportation, and also buy, the same. Mais il y a la différence. Il y a la manière dont tu peux utiliser on, in, and buy, parlant de transportation, mais qui est un peu différent. Commençons par les on ici. On va utiliser on avec les moyens de transport, là où vous pouvez faire des mouvements. Par exemple, là-bas, nous parlons des trains, le train. Tu peux entrer dans les trains, tu peux même marcher. OK? Quand tu fais les mouvements là-bas de marcher, on ne va pas dire I am in the train. Parce que beaucoup des apprenants, they say like, I am in the train, but that is incorrect. Because there, in that vehicle, you can do the movement. You rather say, I am on the train. De la même façon avec le bus. OK? On ne va pas dire in the bus or the bus. We're going to say on the bus, on the plane, plane, qui est maintenant l'avion. I am on the plane. I am on the boat. Boat, ici, c'est le pirogue ou même bateau. Donc, le boat ici, it can be a small thing or it can also be a big thing. Mais ici, quand nous parlons maintenant de bateau, on va utiliser on. Mais si c'est le pirogue, là où tu peux juste t'asseoir, tu es une personne, tu vas utiliser in. Donc, ça, c'est un peu sur les cas exceptionnels. Donc, ça peut être sur in ou même on. OK? Ça, c'était pour on. Here, we see the movement. On voit le mouvement. But in, c'est le contraire. Here, it is the contrary. We are going to use it talking about the transportation where you can't do the movement. Parlons du car. Okay? Sometimes you can just enter in the car and you don't do any movement apart from sitting only. There, tu es dans une voiture. On va dire en anglais, I am in the car. The same way, I am in the taxi or I am in the boat. Now here we're talking about the small boats there. Le pirogue maintenant là-bas. Okay? Now here we can also say by, mais qui est un peu différent de on and in. Ici, on va maintenant utiliser le by pour un peu nous donner des informations. Comment est-ce que tu es arrivé quelque part? Qu'on va dire en anglais, how you get somewhere. Mais si je vais te demander comment tu es arrivé ici, ça sera how did you get here? How did you get here? How did you get here? Et là-bas, maintenant, tu vas me dire, je suis arrivé avec la voiture, c'est en utilisant maintenant le by ici. Par exemple, je suis venu ici, ça sera I got here by car. By a car, by a taxi, by a boat, by a train, by a bus. Là-bas, je montre maintenant ce que j'ai utilisé pour arriver quelque part. Là-bas, on va maintenant utiliser by. Okay? So it's about transportation. But here, you're showing the way. What did you use for you to get somewhere? To get at a certain location. You're going to use by. Here, there is no movement. But here, there is a movement. So here, ils ont le même usage, mais différente. La manière qui est un peu différente d'utiliser ça. Talking about on here. Now, the second usage of on, we are going to use it talking about surface. You see, okay, let's take an example using my hand here. You see here, it is under, but here it is on, which means this is the surface. So taking this piece of chalk and I put it on my hand. So I'm going to say on my hand because it is on the surface. The same way we can use with the table, okay? You can take a cup, you can take a cup and you put it on the table since you are talking about the surface, okay? Or you can take anything and then you put it on your head. You put it on your head and not in your head. You see the difference? Because here I'm talking about the surface, okay? And the last one, we can also use on when talking about days. We don't say in Monday, in Tuesday. We say on Monday, on Tuesday, on Saturday, on Sunday. Whenever you're talking about days, remember to use on instead of in. And also, when talking about Christmas Day or any day with the word day at the end, you can use on. On Christmas Day, I'm going to buy gifts for my family. Or on my birthday, many friends are going to bring present. You see, we're going to use on. whenever talking about days or any word with the day word there. Now, continuing with the preposition in here. In, as we said, it's all about transportation first. And the second one is now we're not talking about the surface. Here we're talking about something that is in the box. Okay? Let's say we have a box, and the box which is not opened yet, le carton qui n'est pas encore ouvert, it has something that is actually closed, right? So when you put something on it, ça va juste rester sur la surface. But when you open it and you put the piece of chalk inside, ça va maintenant entrer in. Donc, disons par exemple, juste pour bien comprendre ça, whenever we are using in here, pour parler de inside, nous avons 3 ou 4 côtés de quelque chose qui couvre une autre personne ou une autre chose. Par exemple, une maison, nous avons 4 murs. And I am in the house. Why? Because ça me couvre. OK? Là-bas, on va maintenant utiliser inside. I am in the car, for example. I am in the house, since there is something that is covering me. I have 4 walls, even 3, but I am inside of it. Et la troisième usage, on va parler de weeks, months and years. En bref, ça sera pour long period of time. Donc, les choses qui vont maintenant prendre, disons, le moment qui est un peu long, on va utiliser long period. Par exemple, quand vous parlez de weeks, nous avons there 7 days, right? So, quand je vais te dire, OK, on va se rencontrer dans la semaine prochaine, ça sera let's meet in the next week. In the next week. Why? The week here is a long period of time. I'm not going to say let's meet on the weeks now. We don't say that. Or I can also say let's meet in July, dans le mois de juillet. Let's meet in July. Let's meet in June, Juin. Let's meet in January. Okay, because we are talking about months here. And also let's meet maybe next year, in next year, something like that. In century, in decade, something like that. Okay, so here we have in, on, and at. We've already finished. Now going with the last one, which is by. And the first one was about transportation, but showing us how did you get somewhere. Now here, number 2, not number 3, please. So I'm getting old. You have to understand all those kind of things. Now, 2. We are going to use it when talking about close to or near. Quelque chose qui est proche de toi, ou même à côté de toi. Disons comme ça, on va utiliser les by là-bas. For example, let's say there is a chair. Il y a une chaise à côté de moi. En anglais, je vais dire the chair is by me. The chair is by me. Qui veut dire la chaise est à côté de moi. Or you can say just John is by me. I'm talking to the person by you. Je suis en train de parler avec la personne qui est à côté de toi. C'est ça, by. When you use by, tu peux aussi utiliser close to or near et ça donne la même signification en anglais. Nous avons aussi the end of a specific time. Là-bas, quand on voulait dire à la fin du mois, par exemple, à la fin de cette année, à la fin du jour, par exemple, on va utiliser maintenant by. Mais on va suivre une formule qui n'est pas écrite ici. On va dire by. Et puis je dis the end. By the end of this week, par exemple. By the end of this week, I will give you your money. For example, I have your loan, j'ai votre dette, and I'm telling you, hey man, à la fin du mois, je vais vous donner votre argent. C'est pas money, okay? Money is not French. On va dire maintenant, by the end of this month, I'm going to give you your money. By the end of this year, I will have bought a big house. Donc, à la fin de cette année, j'aurai déjà acheté une grande maison. So, by the end of, and then you put either day, weeks, months, ça dépend de vous, mais là-bas, vous êtes en train un peu d'utiliser les by pour marquer end of a specific time. Now we are at the end of the lesson, and I want to make sure that you all understood the lesson of today. Now, for us to know that you understood it very well, I want you to send the examples in the comment section to make sure I'm going to read them and correct them if there will be any mistake. And please, the only way for you to support me is to hit the like button, subscribe, and also share this video with others, because our goal is to make all of you speak English fluently, confidently, without any doubt. So I'll see you in the next video.